Now, a Labour MP is proposing to raise the age at which children can access social media from 13 to 16. So let's bring in our political correspondent, Tamara Cohen, our second political correspondent of the morning. We're honoured. Morning to you, Tamara. So this Labour MP wants the age at which children can access social media raised. Is that likely to happen?
Yeah, so Josh McAllister is a Labour MP and former teacher, and he has been for some time trying to draw attention to the idea that smartphones and what he calls addictive social media apps are harmful to children, and he's had a lot of interest and support from parents and schools. Now, initially, his bill was going to legislate for a smartphone ban in schools. He had to drop that after ministers made clear they weren't going to do it. So what it now does is essentially call on chief medical officers from across the UK to spend a year reviewing the evidence of harms, links to anxiety, depression, lack of concentration, and then decide whether the age at which children can currently give their data to apps like TikTok or Snapchat, which is currently 13, should be raised further. Now, there has been a bit of disappointment that the bill doesn't go further, but we believe that he has drafted it in this way in order for the government to say they will support it. Now, I interviewed him about what he intended the bill to achieve, and this is what he told me.
We've managed to persuade lots of MPs and make a big noise about this issue, which is at large in the country, which is that for too many children, smartphones and social media is really addictive and it's taking a lot of their time and attention. But that issue for too long hasn't been debated in Parliament. My private member's bill will get the government to come back within a year on the question of raising the age of digital consent. We chose 13 a long time ago. Is that right? You know, in Norway it's 15, in France it's 15. Should we be setting it at a higher age?
Now, he'd also initially wanted Ofcom, the regulator, to take tough action against the social media tech giants for not protecting children from addictive content. He's now not put even an age of 16 in the bill. He just says ministers should decide whether that age should be raised from 13. But when I asked him about it, he said this is the first time MPs and Parliament have really engaged with this important issue. He thinks it's a meaningful step forward. He pointed out that, you know, we didn't ban smoking or introduce seatbelts overnight. There are incremental steps. So he wants Parliament to go further to protect children from the harms, he says, are caused not just by harmful content, but just spending hours doom scrolling on social media rather than being outside or having the sort of childhood that many had in the past. So he says this is important, and it comes with some new polling today of 16 to 24-year-olds, which found that 60% of them, so this is the generation that grew up with smartphones, think that children should have more protection from the harms of social media. So I think this is an issue that's shooting up the political agenda. We'll see what the government actually commit to after this debate, which is scheduled to last a few hours.
That's so interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those issues that I think the debate's being had in households up and down the country all the time. You know, the impact that smartphones have on children and whether you should have your phones taken off. They should have their phones taken off them or not.
Yeah, lots of parents and head teachers say they want the UK to go down the same route that Australia is starting to go down now and just say it should be banned before the age of 16, although there are big questions about how that would work. Now, the Department of Science and Technology say that they are committed to protecting children and they will see what's in this bill. We do expect the government will accept what he's putting forward because he's redrafted it considerably in order for them to accept it. But certainly some of the campaigners for called smartphone-free childhood, some of the bereaved families who want tougher online safety measures, they are disappointed that this isn't going further.